guys, welcome back to the Prism Podcast. And if you're on YouTube, hello, hello, hello. And today we're going to be talking about building a pipeline. Okay, so in this episode, I'm actually going to have one of the recordings that I did probably, gosh, it's got to have been a few months ago, maybe last October, that I recorded this pipeline training that I did for our network marketing company. And I got so much great feedback on it. And so whether you're in sales, if you're in network marketing yourself, this is going to be one of the most valuable things that you can really understand and conceptualize to be able to move, people that you're meeting out in the world or prospects that you're meeting into duplication. So it's really the way and the process that helps me understand, okay, what can I be working on next to be able to move people from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, and so on. So I'm really excited about this episode this week. Again, if you're in the network marketing profession, this is going to be really specific to you. And if you're a part of our company, it's going to even make more sense with our duplication systems in place. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But either way, if you're in any sort of online business, sales role, if you're an entrepreneur of any way, shape, or form, this is going to be really resourceful for you. And again, we got lots of good feedback on it. So I wanted to share it here on the podcast and on YouTube. But without further ado, welcome to, I would call it Sid's pipeline training. Enjoy. I'm going to get right into the content tonight. I'm super excited to be on the call training. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Sydney Lish. I've been with Isogenics for about 4.5 years and super honored to always have the opportunity to do these calls and pass on any knowledge that I have learned. So something I'm going to be training on tonight is what I like to call my pipeline training. And before I get into it, Zach actually on his stories just posted something, and it was like perfectly in alignment with what I wanted to talk about tonight. And he posted, if you guys haven't seen it, he said, get out of your head and just focus on the very next step. And he posted that. I was like, this couldn't be more perfect timing. I swear he's like telepathic, because if you feel frustrated in your business, or if you feel like you aren't where you want to be necessarily, and we all get that way. I've been that way. Anybody I've ever talked to, we get this like this syndrome where we're always wanting to get to the next step, wanting to get to the next rank, feeling frustrated with maybe where we're at, feeling frustrated with our results that we have or the results that we don't have. And what I'm about to show you guys is something that you can do to get out of your head and just completely focus truly on your next step. Okay. And this is something that I have done. And the reason I put it into a visual is because that's the way that I taught myself how to move people along this pipeline. Okay. If I change this to gallery view, did that change it to gallery view for all of you? Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure because I like seeing the faces. All right. So what I did was I put together a visual for myself to get myself out of my crappy mindset about not being where I want to be, to being able to be in action and move my business forward every single day. Because what I see, the biggest mistake I see people make in this industry is we fish from the same pond of like 20 people. Right? We have like 20 prospects or 30 prospects, and we continually follow up with them. We're never meeting new people. We're always just trying to get those people who aren't ready or who aren't excited necessarily to this next step, hoping one of them one day is going to pop and the timing's going to be right. How many of you guys feel guilty or have felt guilty of feeling like you talk to the same 15, 20, 30 people and your business is not growing and it's not going anywhere? Right? I've been there. We all do it. We want to increase the volume. And so instead of you being a big fish in a small pond, we want to move you into a big pond. And you might start to feel like a small fish in a big pond, right? But what we want to do is we want to get you to the point where you are a big fish in a big pond, and you have so many people that you're talking to. Your pipeline is so full that you always have people that are ready to get started because you're planting so many seeds. You're talking to so many people. Your pipeline is so big. You have such a slew of people that you're always talking to that you're never worried about those 1 or 2 or 3 people that you're just praying and hoping it eventually is going to be the right time. So I want you to picture in your mind that your business is a massive field. Okay, it's a massive field, and I'm from Montana, so this is easy for me to visualize, right? There's fields everywhere. There's a massive pipeline going through your field. Okay, like a big white, I don't even know, plexiglass, I don't know what it's made out of, but a pipeline going through your field. And our job as farmers, let's just assume we're farmers in network marketing, is to fill that pipeline with water. And what is the water? I imagine one person that I talk to, one prospect, as a drop of water going through that pipeline. Just one drop. So imagine you want to water your entire field with abundance and overflow of money. A couple drops here and there, onesie twosies, is not going to work. We have to fill the pipeline with so many droplets of water that eventually that pipeline gets so full of water that it can overflow and fill the entire field, right? And if you want your field to die, just keep talking to the same 15, 20 people, because your pipeline is never going to have enough flow through it, never going to have the numbers, because this is a numbers game, to water the field with abundance. Okay, and your business is the same way. So to fill your pipeline, I'm going to show you guys my pipeline training. So beautiful back here. I'm going to try and move this a little bit so it's a little closer. I got some fragile stuff on the other side of the desk. All right, so to fill your pipeline, I'm going to show you guys what to do to get out of your head and to just get moving in your business. Okay, so this is where we're going to start. This is your pipeline. This is your field, your pipeline. We are going to fill it with something. Okay, so where do we start? We start with number one, of course, and number one is our love line. Okay, this is the way it makes sense in my brain. When I talk to someone, where are they at? Are they in the downline, or are they in the pipeline? Where are they? This is the love line. Okay, if you guys want to take notes, I highly recommend, so you can track this. Okay, get a pen and paper out. What is your love line? Your love line is building relationships, building trust with people, adding value to people, creating friendships. Okay, and what we'll find is that some people come in and they've already done this step. They've already built a strong love line, right? Someone like, Lenice, or someone like Mary Catherine, right? Some of you guys came in with a really strong love line of relationships that you've been building for years, for decades. Those people trust you. And so if you came in, much like myself, or I know Eric Miller, we didn't have a love line. We didn't really spend our entire lives building good quality relationships, friendships, stuff like that, right? So if you're in that space, just know you can still do this. You're just going to have to take a little bit more time at this love line phase. Okay, this is one of the most important phases, but the most important thing to know about the love line is that this is not an income producing activity. You building relationships in the long term produces income, but the love line, a lot of people get stuck there, and they get stuck in, oh, I met this girl at the coffee shop, and then I went to coffee with her 14 times before I ever even brought up Isogenics, because I wanted to make sure she had trust with me and, a strong relationship. Relationships and trust can be built really fast. Relationships and trust can be built in minutes by talking, asking questions, listening, right? We're all guilty. I'm totally guilty of that. I'm like, oh, I'm just building the relationship, not income producing. So what I write here is, do not get stuck here. Just in little letters right there. Do not get stuck here. Don't get stuck in love line building. Always be love line building, always be meeting new people, always be building relationships to start that funnel of the pipeline with most of the people up here. But just remember that we've got to move them along in the process to step two. Okay, and step two is your, so I have my notes, pipeline. This is your actual pipeline. Okay, so what does that include? This includes sharing a story. Hey, before Isogenics, blank and blank and blank, and then this person introduced me. It's sharing your Isogenics story with someone. It's maybe sending a 2-minute video to someone, sharing a tool with someone, maybe inviting someone onto a virtual event, right? Pivot on Purpose, those kinds of things. An opportunity meeting, bringing them to a Timeout Tuesday or a Thrive Thursday or a Wealth Wednesday. Whatever it may be, it's exposing people to Isogenics, because until you've talked to them and opened your mouth about Isogenics in some way, shape, or form, they're just in the love line. They're not even in your pipeline yet. Okay, so this is once you have expose them to isogenics. Maybe you've been verbal vomited. I don't care. You brought it up to them. They are now in your pipeline. And what I want you guys to see about the shape of this is it gets more narrow for a reason, because you're not necessarily going to bring up isogenics to everyone right now, right? That number of people gets a little smaller. That's why we want to talk to so many motherfucking people in the beginning, because it's going to get a little more narrow. And if we want to water the whole field, we've got to talk to more people. This is a numbers game, but people are not numbers. Okay, so talking to a lot of people in the love line. Some people will move straight into the pipeline, right? And this is where 80% of your effort should be going, to these two activities: building relationships and trust, bringing up isogenics. 80% of your time gets to be spent in recruitment prospecting mode. 20% of the results come from that though, not a lot. But we're gonna see that flip when we get down here, okay? So you have your pipeline, your love line, and then in between here, 2 and 3, where we come to the downline, what happens in between here? Follow-ups. Follow-ups moves people from your pipeline to your downline. How many of you guys think that just because you bring up isogenics once, they're just directly gonna go straight to the downline? No. That's why this gets the most narrow at the downline. There's a reason for it. It gets the most narrow at the downline because some people are gonna fall off the face of the planet and go into witness protection program. Some people are gonna block you on Facebook. Some people are gonna say, never talk to me about it again. Some people are gonna say it's not the right time. Some people are gonna say, I need more information on the shape stuff, right? Someone's gonna have an allergy to something that I don't even know what it is. That isn't even an allergy, right? There's going to be fall off here. So when you get through the pipeline and you're moving people through, it gets the most narrow at the downline. And what I'll say is these follow-ups, 10 to 15 follow-ups for people. Don't expect people to get started just because you brought it up to them once at coffee. We talked about this morning on one of our calls with some of the beauty pros. Lanice, we talked about Lanice on the call. We had to go see Lanice several times. Mary Catherine called her office. She followed up with her 7 times on Instagram just to get a 5-minute call, to get a 5-minute meeting when we were in Dallas, to then go back again and talk to her again. And Lanice was generally excited. So imagine if someone's not excited, how many exposures, how many follow-ups, how many times they see you posting on Facebook about it, how many times they hear you talking about it to other people, how many times they see you celebrating other people in the community. Those are all examples of follow-ups as well. How many times you send them videos, send them tools, right? Give them more information, make sure it's the right time. Okay, so downline. And this is another place you don't want to get stuck, but something that Zach and Eden always taught me is this is where the enrollment process actually starts. The enrollment process does not, oh yeah, I just saw a really good reaction. They're just like, oh. Okay, the enrollment process doesn't start in the love line. It starts when they come into the team. When they join the team is when the enrollment process starts. Because a lot of us get stuck here, just like we did up here in, okay, I'm gonna put Eric in the Facebook page, and then I'm gonna see him at the top, and we're both gonna be millionaires for, some crazy, hopeful reason. See you at the top, Eric. And then Eric falls off, and then I get upset because Eric didn't get to the top with me, even though I put him in the Facebook page, and I sent him a whole video, right? This is where the work starts, people. You've got to work with these people once they get enrolled. You've got to work with them. That is where the work starts. Mary Catherine and I talk about this all the time. We were like, this Dallas crew, this work started once they got enrolled. Like, holy moly, they are running. This is where the work begins, people. Because if you want to have a booming business, if you want to have leadership and depth to the point where half of your team or 75% of your team could leave and you don't even feel the cut in your paycheck, the work starts when enrollment happens. Eden told me once when I was years into building, I think it was 3 years into building, and she told me, she goes, Sydney, you're still a prospect to me. And I didn't take it personally. I was like inspired because I was popping onesie twosies. I was enrolling people like crazy. And I was just letting them go do their thing. I never followed up with them, never checked in about their products. And that changed my mindset to think until someone has earned a 6 or 7 figure income in this business, they are continually a prospect. And when you have that mindset around the people in your team, you will treat them so differently and you will nurture them so differently. And you will work with them like a crockpot leadership versus microwave leadership, like Zach and Eden always talk about. Right? So the enrollment process starts here. So don't get stuck here. Just pop them in the Facebook group and hope they see at the top. This is where it starts. Following up from there. Let's get on your next call. What are you noticing with your products? Right? Let's get you paid. Who do you know? Who are 2 people? Right? That's where the process starts. And what I'll say is if people didn't treat me, like Zach and Eden didn't treat me, like the process started here, I would be long gone. I would have given up. I would have felt so alone. And most of you can probably agree, if the enrolling sponsor that you have would have just left you here hoping that you knew how to get to the top by yourself and didn't work with you a little bit, you'd probably be gone. So keep that in mind next time you bring in a rock star and they're gone 2 weeks later. Okay. All right. So from there, what do we do next, right? Because now the pipeline's getting bigger, right? So this is the most narrow it's going to be because people are going to fall off, right? There's just going to be a smaller amount of people at the downline section. So how do we grow that to be an expanding, booming, abundant pipeline, right? The next thing is drive line. So what is drive line? Drive line is duplication. Drive line is so simple. It is following our easy system. I just said following like Eric. He says it like an East Coaster. Following. Sorry. Okay. Following our easy training system. So what is that? I actually crossed it out here, so sorry for that if any of you guys are thinking about that. But ABC, it's convert them to associate, share with 2, repeat. That's how we drive the line. And then guess what? I do that with Mary Catherine, and I teach her how to go associate. I teach her how to share with her first 2. I teach her how to repeat that with her people. Created a manager. Then what do I do with those people? I take those people and I do the same thing with her person. I do the same thing with her other person, right? And then I repeat it. I go find somebody new. I help them share with 2. I help them repeat, create a crystal manager. Repeat over and over and over and over and over again. And this is why, if you take this concept of drive line, people like Zach and Eden have such a strong business because they didn't care, and they do not care if it was the person they enrolled or the person that person enrolled or the person that person enrolled. They're going to work with anyone who wants it and anyone who is hungry. So someone like Mikey from Belgium, who's a 6-star Golden Circle 6-star Crystal Executive as of yesterday. Congratulations, Mikey, holy moly. They decided, okay, Mikey's 13 people removed from us, but we're gonna show him how to drive the line, and we're gonna drive the line with him. And they taught Mikey how to drive the line. It's teaching other people these very simple steps. And you're expanding the pipeline. You're expanding the pipeline out now, right? Because you can narrow your pipeline all the way down to the people you enroll, but if all you ever do is that, it's just gonna keep, you guys feel it. Do you feel that? If you are not duplicating yourself, I feel it. You're just narrowing your pipeline over and over. You're talking to a bunch of people. You're talking to them about isogenics. You bring them in and then nothing. And then you have to start all over, and you're never getting the explosive growth of wealth and abundance here. This is the missing thing for so many of us. And it's really simple. We just go to work to overcomplicate it. So if you want now 20% of your effort to turn into 80% of the results, this is where you've got to put your time in with your new people, with your new recruits, with the new prospects you're talking to and bringing in. Okay, so you've got to drive the line with people just one person at a time. Don't think you have to work with every single person all the time, but one person after the next, after the next, after the next. Okay, and then after that, the last step is deep line. And what is deep line? Deep line is the highest rank in the company. It's executive. It's creating executive. It's leadership development. It's making other people's paychecks more important than your own. It's being willing to go in your back office on Thursdays or whatever day you want and tree surfing and seeing who enrolled someone that I don't know, who just came in, who can I check in on, who can I taproot into, where can I taproot where someone fell off, but they enrolled 5 people. How can I go work with those 5 people and see who the gem might be? How can I really treat this like other people's paychecks are more important than my own? How can I help other people build their paychecks to be more important than my own? Where can I work at the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8 PET, the 13 PET, Mikey again, right? This is also a lot of mindset. A lot of the millionaires and the 6-figure earners and the executives in this company, they're working in the deep line and they are really working on their mindset. They're working on manifestation, visualizing, imagining, working on themselves. And if you guys don't believe that, go back a few years on YouTube and look up your favorite top earner in the company and watch a couple videos from 2015, 2016, 2017. If you don't think that's a direct reflection of mindset work every single day, then you're crazy. I even see that in myself, and I'm not even close to where I want to be. I see that in myself from training videos from even a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, working every single day, committed to my own personal growth. And in turn, that builds the business. This business can only be built to the extent that you build yourself. Build yourself just as hard, if not harder than you are building your business, and your business will grow. So now what do you do with this? We just simplified and took away all confusion of what we need to do. And a confused mind takes no action, right? And so if all you have to do every single day for the rest of your life in this business, which is hopefully until the day that you're gone, all you must do is ask yourself each day, who can I move from 1 to 2? Who can I move from 2 to 3? Who can I move from 3 to 4? And who can I move from 4 to 5? Who can I help that I just met that I could say, hey, you know, I know we went to coffee a couple weeks ago and you had mentioned that you were really insecure about your hair after being sick. I have a product that I think could really, really help you. Are you open to taking a look? Boom. Moved to pipeline. Okay. How can we move someone from the pipeline to the downline? Hey, I know you've checked out so much information. I would really love to circle back about any information, answer any questions, and see if you have enough information to get started today. I know you've been really excited to get started. Easy. Okay, move to downline. Downline. We go back in our back office and we see hundreds of people we've enrolled or tens of people we've enrolled. And we're like, what do we do with these people? Go back to them. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing on your products? I just wanted to check in. Also, I'm just curious, who do you know that would love to have the same results that you've gotten? I know that you've been posting about your hair and your skin being so much better. Who in your life do you know that would love those same results? Awesome. Can I show you how to convert to associate in your back office? Great. Those 2 people, we're going to contact them. I'm going to help you. And then we're going to repeat. So easy. Okay. Now, drive line, deep line. Who do you know that wants to run to a 6-figure income? Who do you know that has a pain point that's great enough that $30,000 a year, 10 cycles a week would make a radical difference in their life? Reach out to them and make your goal to have 5 of those people that you're running with at all times. Make a post, maybe. Make a post. Hey, I'm opening up my services to the first 5 people that reach out that are serious about making a change in their life. Serious and want to earn an additional $30,000 a year or $540 a week. If you reach out to someone that you know has been struggling and they've mentioned it to you before over and over and over again, and you've never told them about the opportunity besides them just sharing with a couple people, get on a Zoom with them and draw it out. Them seeing the compensation plan to executive or beyond, they're going to get excited. They just don't know it yet. We haven't taken the time to show them, because if no one ever showed me $720,000 max out, I would have never known. I would have never known. Imagine if someone didn't take the time to do that for you. Where would you be in your life? Where would your hope levels be right now? Because I know mine would be real low. You've got to be the one to take the time to show that if you want to get people into the deep line and the drive line. gotta show people the money. Okay, so ask yourself every day, who can I move through this pipeline? And if it's drawing the pipeline out every single day on a piece of paper and filling it in with 5 names for each, or 3 names for each, or 1 name for each, and that's all you do, awesome. You are moving your business forward. Like we always say, it doesn't matter how slow you go or fast you go, we just care that you go. And are you drawing it with 60 doses? Gigi, it totally depends on the person. I just go based on what they want. I ask them a lot of questions. And then I also go based on what they got started on and what they're excited about. If they're excited about hair revival, I'll show them with hair revival and collagen. If they're excited about collagen or nutrition, I'll show them with that. Yeah. And here's the reality, you guys. First of all, can you go like this if this has been helpful? And this simplifies the process for you and makes it feel like it's just, okay. Here's the deal. Now you know what to do. You have no excuse. So if you leave this call and you still don't take action, that is on you. That is on you. And if you tell me it's more complicated than this, I will fight you until I die. It's not. It's simply about what we're willing to do and who we're willing to talk to with this information. That's why we do these trainings. We don't do these trainings so your business stays the same. We do these trainings so you can take it, use it, and run through this pipeline, fill this pipeline. The bigger you fill the top of this pipeline, the wider it's just going to get. And the more you're going to have watering your field. But again, here's the reality. As you build your pipeline, you are going to feel very defeated at times. You're going to get told no more than you're going to get told yes. In my first few years, I tracked really closely how many people I talked to, about 4,000 people. And I had about 200 say yes. So how many no's is that? That's a lot more no's than it is yeses, but I didn't focus on the no's. You're gonna get ignored. Mary Kath and I do our reach outs and we always chat numbers. How many times did you get ignored today? How many people actually responded? Like, we don't even make it a thing. We're just like, they're lost, whatever. You're gonna get ignored. It doesn't matter if you're the most poppin' girl on Instagram, you're gonna get ignored. So don't use that as an excuse. Oh, my Instagram presence isn't great. Great, make it better. Make it better. Make your presence on Instagram or your presence in the real world what you know would attract people into your business, what you know would make people come to your page and be like, what is Tiffany doing? I need to be a part of this. Ask yourself, what would make people want to say that? And start doing it. So people are going to ignore you. You're going to have people quit. You're going to have people that you think are going to run with you to the top of this company, and they may quit. You may have people who do run to the top of this company with you, and they may quit. That is like real freaking talk right now. You're going to endure hard times building a pipeline. You're going to endure hard times. You're going to endure times where you feel like you can't do this maybe. But the thing right in between your 2 ears is the only thing that's stopping you from actually doing it. Because guess what? That is the hardest thing to tame and the most powerful when you do have it tamed. So work on taming the thing between your ears, because we're all going to endure the same winds. But like Jim Rohn says, where are we directing our sails? That's what matters. It's not the winds that we endure. It's the direction of where our sails are set. And know that we're all just a few people, like under a handful, less than 5 people away from striking gold in this business. And I always think of the parable, Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. I read it recently. And he has this parable in the book, and he refers to it as 3 feet from gold. And it's this analogy that comes from a story during the gold rush, okay? And it's a young man who is mining for gold for months and months and months and months, every day, hot weather, dirt everywhere, just crappy. No one wants to be there. And he gets exhausted, and he decides that he is going to quit. He's defeated. He's tired. He can't do it anymore. He can't handle the naysayers saying he's never going to strike gold. Oh, you already missed the wave. Whatever naysayers say, I don't know. I don't listen to them. And he sold all of the equipment that he had to a junk man. And this junk man comes in and he starts to dig to find that the gold was 3 feet from where the man had previously stopped digging. And he was right. The miner was 3 feet from gold before he quit. And so one of the most common causes of failure in this business is the habit of quitting. It is our habit to quit when things get hard, to convince ourselves that a life of mediocrity is all that we deserve, to convince ourselves that we're not worth it, to convince ourselves of maybe they were right about me. And you get overtaken by temporary defeat. All of us are so guilty of this at one time or another. I know I have been. But I just want to encourage every single one of you, if you're on this call on a Monday night at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever time it is for you, or you're watching the replay, you're not doing this for nothing. So keep building, keep growing, keep filling your pipeline and mastering what's in between your ears and moving people through. Even if it's on autopilot, just move people through. Talk to people, move people through. And one day, we all get to strike gold. And I really, really, really believe that if we believe we are so much closer than we think. I love you guys. Let's go get it. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.